Hi, I'm Pastor Chuck Reish. Thanks for tuning into Revelations. And today we're in Cincinnati, Ohio, visiting a ministry called At Work on Purpose, and the founder, Chuck Proudfit. Thanks for joining us, Chuck.
Thank you for having me.
We're talking about marketplace ministry. So, Chuck, tell us a little bit about how you were inspired to start At Work on Purpose.
I wish I could tell you it was inspiration. It was actually more exasperation. I became a Christian at the tail end of 1996. So in my first full year as a Christ follower in 1997, I was just eager to apply my faith in all aspects of life, including work, and I discovered that Christians typically don't do that. The local church doesn't deal much with the working reality of most of the people in the congregations, and most of us individually think of Sunday and Monday as two completely different arenas, so we separate rather than integrate faith and work. And so out of all that exasperation and a lot of details that I won't bother you with today, was born At Work on Purpose as a marketplace ministry.
I understand in learning about the ministry there's a threefold approach. Tell me about that.
Our mission is to bring God's guidance to the work world. We've discovered, however, over the last few years, just observing where God is moving in Cincinnati and following His lead, that there are three major arenas where marketplace ministry is very active. The first one is what we call one work life at a time. The second one is one workplace at a time. The third one is one work community at a time. So in the arena of work life, it's about the level of the individual. How does one Christian, a believer, reach a non-believer for Christ? What does that look like to grow spiritually in and through work with another person or for ourselves? The workplace is all about the organization. For example, what would it look like to be able to cultivate a Christ-centered enterprise right in Cincinnati and then to multiply those? And the work community is about taking a broader view for an entire town or a city or a region. And so in our case, how do we bring Christ to the center of Cincinnati?
Wow. I think most Christians will be interested in this story. So stay tuned as we go behind the scenes and get some interviews and see what workplace ministry should look like.
Is this really all there is at work? Is this really what a career is supposed to be? Is this all I have to look forward to? You really need to figure out what you're going to do with your career, because you're going to be doing it for a long time. Your fulfillment, ultimately, isn't going to come from money. It's not going to come from power. It's not going to come from promotions.
I knew that I wanted to be intentional about my faith in the workplace, but frankly I made an awful lot of excuses of not doing that.
My heart has always been evangelism in the workplace. That's where I've lived my life. That's where my ministry has always been.
I just said, God, you must have something for my life, and may I be as consistent and committed to whatever it is that you have for me.
I knew in my heart that God was calling me to an active faith life at work. And the workplace is one of the most important places for that, because it's where we spend most of our waking hours.
I kind of was rationalizing and being content with the position of, hey, just be a nice guy, treat people right, and if you get a chance every once in a while, go ahead and share my faith.
This is something I think that is at the heart of At Work on Purpose. How to bring faith in a practical way, opportunities to share our faith in a practical way into the workplace.
As I began to share my faith with colleagues and with clients, there was automatic pushback, because you're not supposed to talk about religion and politics at work.
People say that we have freedom of religion, but a lot of times what that comes across as is freedom from religion. And so there's a big difference between not being able to say anything about ministry or religion and being able to talk about the God and the ministry and the Gospels and work. So it's the freedom of religion, not freedom from religion.
The Christian community at large looks at the marketplace as a place to fund, F-U-N-D, fund ministry, but not a venue for ministry. And so this wall that we have built and that has institutionalized separation between faith and work is very real.
It's so exciting to see how God is using us to dismantle barriers of racial, denominational, economic, and gender differences. And as those are systematically brought down before our very eyes while we're on our knees praying to see that accomplished, God is facilitating a stronger sense of unity in this city than we've ever experienced before.
and tearing down that wall of this is business and this is church, and realizing that God is Lord of all, not just on Sunday.
In the Bible, I found that God is interacting with the world and bringing heaven and earth together. I mean, even the Lord's Prayer, you know, starts out that may it happen on here, on earth, as it is in heaven.
Every person has a unique path to living out faith at work, and the question becomes, where is God calling you, and what unique expression will you bring to the marketplace ministry that is yours, that God's handing you?
He desires for me to help prepare the harvesters in the workplace. Christian business people, people in the workplace who are believers, and that is their mission field.
Each one of us is fulfilling the Great Commandment and the Great Commission. That's our broader purpose as Christians, but at work it happens in unique ways.
Everything that we provide throughout Work on Purpose will have an opportunity to get hooked into evangelizing and becoming prepared to be a harvester in the workplace for the revival that's coming to the workplace.
I'm sure that many that have been watching and listening today would be interested in how they too can be impacted and affected. And there's plenty of information on Chuck's website called atworkonpurpose.org. All one word, atworkonpurpose.org. Check it out.